Well, E3 2018 just ended and a lot was cool and a lot was disappointing. Well, let's try to do this fast and go conference by conference. Kicking things off with EA. I used to work at GameStop, and this is just reminding me of all the times I had to listen to Andrea Renee be awkwardly lovable for most of my shifts, so I'm glad nothing's changed. Everything Battlefield does seems like it's reactionary to whatever Call of Duty does. So of course it's World War II, and of course there's a Battle Royale mode. If it stays as just an extra mode, then that's pretty cool, but if it becomes the focus of the game, then consider it in the trash pile. And why have a press conference if you aren't gonna show your goddamn game? FIFA with better graphics, next. Creating a subscription service for getting people to access your older games and get access to newer games is something I find really cool, but it really depends on the pricing point to make the whole thing work. I really can't tell if this is how Jedi Fallen Order was supposed to be revealed or if it's just more Andrea Renee awkwardness, but with what he's describing, I'm pretty excited to see it. I'm way more excited for that than I am this.
We launched our game in November of last year, and clearly we didn't get it quite right.
Well, that's an understatement. I don't understand why recreating parts of the original games is something they're wanting a lot of praise for. All any of us wanted for Battlefront 2 was a nice, fun DICE version of the original games. Like last year, you spent half an hour showing off prequel stuff, and this year you say we're actually getting it? Come on, EA! The Indie Showcase is always one of my favorite parts of the EA press conferences. Unravel was a cute little adventure game, and I'm happy that EA is giving smaller projects the limelight. I am always down with more couch co-op games being released, and this seems like it's gonna be a great one, and it's already out? Sea of Solitude seems like it's gonna be a cute little adventure. The art style is beautiful, the story seems fun. I kinda wish this was the one that came out. If you blinked, you missed the NBA trailer because they know they have nothing against 2K. And Madden never evolves until next-gen consoles get released and they drop support for the last gen, so that's why whenever these games take center stage, they do something to distract from the fact that they don't have anything. Like this terrible scripted trash talk.
Been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping? Wow, already starting. Okay.
I really don't understand why there aren't more RTS games on mobile. It seems like the perfect platform for it, but not like this. This looks so dull. They spend so much time on this and it sucks. This is so boring. Wait a minute, that was Command and Conquer the entire time? Who hurt you, EA? BioWare has seriously gone downhill. They used to be one of my favorite game developers, but they really have not impressed me since Mass Effect 3. And Anthem is going to live and die by how much they support it and how little EA has to do with it. If they let BioWare do their own thing, I think there could be potential here, but I can see support drop for this the same way they did for Mass Effect Andromeda when it inevitably doesn't live up to EA's outrageous expectations. At least there aren't any loot boxes and pay-to-win mechanics, but I can see that change when expansions come out down the line under the guise of making new players scale with older ones. I really don't want this game to crash and burn the way Division did, but that's where I see this going.
Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats.
We aren't. EA, we know renting places out for these press conferences is like really expensive, so just do us all a favor and just stop. Time for Microsoft. They are starting off strong here with Halo Infinite. I am already so hyped for this game. Halo is one of my absolute favorite series and I always want to see more. Halo 5 was a really weird game, but I'm excited to see that story continue. I just hope they refine the gameplay a bit more. Or, you know, bother showing anything. Ori and the other game I need to play. Sariko Shadows Die Twice. I am not usually a fan of From Software games, but I am really excited for this. It looks like a mix between the new God of War and Dark Souls. Am I allowed to say that? Samurai settings are always a personal favorite of mine, and this just looks like it could be fun. But to get the approval from me, it would need to be more God of War-y and less Dark Souls-y. The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. This is so cute, and following a different character in the same universe and style to tackle different themes is exactly what I wanted to see from the series. And holy shit, it's free? Crackdown 3 looks like what I wanted Saints Row to sort of become. It looks absolutely ridiculous, which is a vibe I never got from the other games, and Terry Crews is the exact injection of stupid this needed to get me interested. I legit didn't know that Nier Automata wasn't already on Xbox. I should really play the other Metro games. Oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3 looks so good! I am so fucking here for a Frozen level, and this just looks so fucking cute! And Gummy Ships are back, and Tangled, Xemnas, Larxene, and Evil Aqua? Stop pushing it back! I guess Rare is really doubling down on keeping Sea of Thieves alive. Please don't show a car again, please don't show a car again. I love when Microsoft supports smaller studios because at least the game's like We Happy Few. This was a game we were teased with a while ago, and I love that they're banking so much on its success. This is the kind of game that can be done with a small budget, but having Microsoft behind it might be able to elevate this game from a cute indie experience to something rivaling BioShock in depth. And yes, it's at the end of the summer! Wasn't PUBG something that was already released last year on Xbox? Tales of Vesperia is something I don't understand, but Jake was excited for it, so I guess it's important. Is Ubisoft really banking on The Division to win people back? They seriously dropped the ball on everything from the gameplay to the content of a game like this, and I do not trust them to learn from their mistakes the way that Bungie did. And it looks like the same goddamn thing as the first game. And I thought we agreed as like an industry to stop these fake multiplayer trailers. The movie may have sucked, but the Tomb Raider reboot games are seriously fun as hell. Each one is well done and intense, and this is just taking everything on my checklist of shit I didn't even know I wanted in a game like this. And it's out on my birthday. I know a lot of people pissed off that this isn't Skate 4. Holy shit, Devil May Cry 5? This is honestly everything I wanted out of the gameplay, the art design, Nero. This is what I wanted, and I'm excited to see this. Please be good. Tunic looks like it's a pretty great 2D Zelda clone, and the fact that it's all made by one guy shows how much of a passion project it is. This is gonna be one of the great 2D Zelda experiences, I just know it. Jump Force looks like exactly what my shonen jump loving ass wants. I just wish they showed more gameplay because I want to see if they fix the problems from the last game. Dying Light 2 was a huge surprise. The first game was one that the developers continuously supported for so long, giving new content and updates that continuously change the game. If they feel like they have enough to do a full sequel, I am excited to see what they have in store. I didn't even know I wanted a new Battletoads until right now, but holy shit, please. Oh god, yes, Gears of War. Go fuck yourselves! I guess they're Halo Wars in Gears now. Oh, thank God. Gears of War is one of my favorite game franchises because it's so fun and so stupid at the same time. The Coalition has honestly done a great job with this series so far, and Gears 5 is trying to focus more on the story and lore, and it's starring one of my favorite characters from the last game. This is everything I wanted from Gears 5, and I'm so happy. So why did you need to give me that heart attack? Oh shit, Cyberpunk 2077 just looks super hype. I just want to see more gameplay on it before I get my hopes up. Bethesda! This whole intro is super cute and the cheesiest thing this E3. White people, am I right?
We're starting with a game that we announced a few weeks ago through our friends at Walmart Canada.
The whole marketing for Rage 2 is so tragic and hilarious that I'm glad that they're just steering straight into the stupid full fucking force. Like when the Walmart Canada leak happened, a lot of people thought it was bullshit specifically because of Rage 2 being there. And in response to people thinking Rage 2 would never happen, they just sort of passive-aggressively announced Rage 2. And this is looking fucking sick as hell. But if they announce Borderlands 3, this game is screwed. If you look at the audience for the entirety of the announcement for Elder Scrolls Legends, it speaks volumes about how we all feel about it. I don't think people like to admit that an MMO is the logical conclusion of where you can take it, the Elder Scrolls. It's constantly getting updated and new maps, and because of that, I feel like we aren't getting Elder Scrolls 6 until this dies. Doom is a game that knocked my goddamn balls off with how cool it was, and I am so down for a game set on Earth. This just looks so metal. I don't usually like these sort of esports shooters, and I don't think they sell very well, but following a League of Legends sort of free-to-play model could be the thing to keep this alive, and since it's free, let's do a game night. Why not test it out? Join the Discord and let's get a community night going. Prey is a game I've been meaning to play for the longest time, and this is the thing that might actually get me to do it if there's a complete edition coming out. You know, Wolfenstein on Switch is something that's just awesome, but a co-op Wolfenstein experience is just one of the coolest things that this series could do, especially with all this Blade Runner shit. Bethesda's one of the companies that does VR so right, and their games just make me want to get a VR headset. All hail God King Todd Howard. He's just straight up roasting E3, himself, and the whole goddamn industry. Fallout 76 is honestly the game to get me back into Fallout. A multiplayer Fallout is exactly what I want, especially if it keeps how deep the RPG in the game is. And at any time, someone can just screw up the map with a nuke. This is so dynamic and cool, and Fallout has the community to keep this thing alive for a while. And at the end of this year, we gotta make a Maniac review community. I really enjoyed the time I had with Fallout Shelter, but Elder Scrolls Blades is honestly the perfect Elder Scrolls game for me. You have no idea how excited I am for this, especially since it's entirely free.
You never know when you'll need a free hand. To hold your coffee, what do you... Degenerates.
Can we just take a minute to appreciate Todd Howard? Yo, I am down for a No Man's Sky twist on a Bethesda RPG, and holy shit, won't I look like an asshole if Elder Scrolls Online doesn't shut down. Okay, so I slept on Devolver Digital last year, and I'm so sad that I did because their press conference is one of the funniest things that ever happened at E3. They were doing such a perfect satire of the entire thing that I didn't actually realize they announced real games. So I made sure to watch them this year, and oh my god, it was amazing. If you have 20 minutes, just watch the whole thing. My friend Pedro looks like a really sick 2D platforming version of what Hotline Miami does, and the level of style and gameplay is exactly what Leo loves.
Ladies, gentlemen, holy fucking shit! May I present to you From Software's 2004 Masterclass in Democratic Mech Warfare, Metal Wolf Chaos!
I've never heard of Metal Wolf Chaos until people started making a big deal about it this year, but after looking up the gameplay, yes, God, please. Why was this never released in the US? Squeenix time. I'm honestly shocked that they decided to try to do another press conference because the last time they did, it was an absolute train wreck. Like worse than EA train wrecks. Like translator falling asleep during the presentation and snoring train wreck. Now let's see if they can redeem themselves. At least it's pre-recorded like a Nintendo Direct this year. Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider looks almost exactly like the other games. They got this guy to describe the cool new features the game's gonna have instead of actually showing it. Final Fantasy XIV is an MMO that I know people love, and I'm sure this is gonna get a bunch of people excited. And I guess Monster Hunter is a cool thing to add to it. I'm already hyped about the amazing adventures of Captain Spirit, but why didn't you tell me more about it here? I've been wanting to get on the Dragon Quest train for some time now, and the fact this is a full console release might actually be the thing that make me play it. I wasn't interested in the Babylon's Fall trailer until I saw the Platinum Games logo at the end of it, and I really don't know how to feel about it now. I'm excited for Octopath Traveler, but this shows me nothing new. I still go back and play Just Cause 2 because it's just so stupidly fun. I skipped Just Cause 3 because it just looked like more of the same, but this has an air of something new to it, and they are really focusing on exactly what they need to make it fun. So when this gets a price drop, I might actually pick it up. The Quiet Man is something I'd be interested to see more of, so why not go in more depth here? What are you doing, Square? This trailer is almost exactly the same as the one at the Xbox press conference. There was a new scene here and there, but there was enough same in it that made me feel like it was wasting my time. In fact, there wasn't any Final Fantasy VII, there wasn't any of that Avengers game, and they didn't go in depth with any of the games they showed at all. Damn it, Square, you wasted my time again! Ubisoft. Oh god, we are still doing this. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is looking better and better every time I see it, and this trailer is making me reinstall the first game and finishing it. The gameplay honestly looks so much like what I wanted No Man's Sky to be, and partnering with Hit Record is such a brilliant move. I know this girl's happy about it. Also, the sound guy needs to learn how to clip mics. I honestly expected Rainbow Six Siege to be dead by now, and the fact that they are still supporting it might actually make me get it. I'm glad Ubisoft is putting their film studio to work after Assassin's Creed, and this looks like it could either be a fun documentary or a giant Rainbow Six ad. Whoa, what the hell? I thought we were done with this as an industry, Ubisoft! I can honestly never tell when Trials gets a new game because they always look exactly the same. If University of Trials got on stage with only 8,000 subscribers, then I can announce a new Sonic game for Sega at E3 2019. Let's make it happen, Sega. Hashtag Leo for Sega. It's cool that you're giving us all this content for free, but you need to make the game interesting first. Mario Rabbids is one of the main reasons to own a Switch right now, and I didn't realize it was getting a brand new story mode along with Donkey Kong. And everything about this concert is just so good. God bless Grant Kirkhope. Okay, I guess I was wrong last year about Skull and Bones being a MOBA, which just means this is even less interesting. Transference is the literal reason I want to get a VR headset. Toy-to-life games are dead, Ubisoft. This is the worst time to be making Starlink. Just let us play the game without buying toys. It looks exactly like what I want a Star Fox game to— oh. Cool. I was never really into For Honor when it came out, and this really isn't the thing to get me into it, but they're giving away for free, so might as well try it out. Does anyone really care about The Crew 2? God damn it, I'm hyped up for Assassin's Creed again. They're really just jumping headfirst into being an RPG, which is sort of what the series needs. What they also need to do is make a modern game, give us some conclusion to the story, but this'll have to do for now. The PC gaming show has become one of the cooler parts for E3 for me, because it's almost always just a big announcement for really good indie games, and there was a whole lot of them. Most of them are very stylized games made for very specific audiences that aren't me, but this Cyanide Happiness game is going to be the thing that gets me into Battle Royale. We also got Hitman being showcased here, and if it's being released fully instead of episodically, I might actually buy this one. Sony! I find it cool that Sony's having this cut the bullshit kind of conference, but that just makes me wonder why they let this go on for a while. It's Naughty Dog, so they're two absolute truths about this game, that it will look great and the story will be great. But the problem I have is that I've been burned before by The Last of Us at E3. The original Last of Us had this fucking amazing trailer. It promised the game with amazing AI, with a super dynamic world, and they kept up this lie until the game came out. And as great as The Last of Us 2 is going to be, I see this and know not to expect dynamic gameplay as intense as this. I hope we get the game that we're being shown instead of just being disappointed that it can't live up to a trailer again. Do you have time for this? Call of Duty is locking DLC behind a Black Ops 4 pre-order, and that's the most disgusting fucking thing. I'm gonna spend like $300 to play Tetris in VR, aren't I? Oh wait, hold on. I wrote this after posting my E3 video last year, so I had this written down on a piece of paper for like a year, so just let me get it. More like days, yawn. Fine, Sony, I'll buy your headset. Just keep making these weird, cute games. I was really shocked that Destiny 2 was as disappointing as it was when it originally released, but Destiny got really good after its first year was done, so hopefully this'll fix my problems, but I'm definitely waiting for a sale. Ghost of Tsushima was a game that got me excited, but as soon as the gameplay started, my excitement really stopped. This just looks like God of War, this just looks like Assassin's Creed, and this just looks like the Arkham games. I feel like I've seen all of this before. I am shocked that this was one of the games that they were banking on because it feels so generic. The The only real cool thing about this is the one-on-one samurai duel, because yes, I'm all about that. Sony's getting a Remedy game? I am absolutely down for that. It looks as insane as Quantum Break without being a shit game. Uh-oh, is Resident Evil getting stupid again? Trover Saves the Universe is definitely what I want. Finally, new Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. I didn't realize just how amazing this game could look. Look at how cool Jack Sparrow is. I'm hyped all over again. I just need this. I just forget what being happy feels like. Why didn't you show this at your press conference? It's about time that we're getting some gameplay of Death Stranding, and what the hell am I looking at? This is Kojima at his most Kojima. This is a game he's been wanting to make, and he's making it with insanely talented people that all want to get his vision out there. We know like nothing about this, but I have faith that this will be one of the reasons to own a PS4 when it's released. It is so insane, and there's just nothing like it on the market. I'm glad that we finally have gameplay so we know that we're getting a game instead of just a David Cage movie thing. So what about a release date? Just what the hell is a Neo? This is literally Spider-Man Arkham Asylum, and yes, please, I love it. Insomniac's style and speed really makes me think I'll like this a lot better than I actually do the Arkham games. Their writing style also perfectly fits the tone of what makes Spider-Man work, and it even has a sort of Assassin's Creed open world, and god, yes, just yes. You're announcing more games like this? Why? It's From Software. It's got a lot here this year, and I'm really interested to see what an art game from them would look like. Wow, okay, yeah, this is a Leo game 100%. I guess the like 4 people who bought Xenoblade are happy. This is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I'm really not into this. But I'm okay with that. Pokemon Go got so many people talking about Pokemon again, even if it was only for like a month. Pokemon Go still has a really large and dedicated community, and this game is made solely to get that crowd to buy a Switch. This isn't the death of the franchise, it's just a middle ground for both casual and hardcore gamers. But if the next Pokemon game starts looking like this, then I'll start to get worried. Fucking, this is what I wanted most in E3. You don't understand the addiction my friends and I have to Mario Party. We have a tournament. We keep track of almost every stat. We haven't had a traditional Mario Party since Mario Party 8, and oh my god, coins and stars? No car? Just sign me the fuck up. I should really play Fire Emblem at some point. I mean, duh. Usually I would say these would be better on PC, but the thought of taking these on the go really makes it worth it. I've been looking forward to Octopath for so long, and I'm so excited that I get to play it soon. Yo, Dragon Ball FighterZ for Switch? I might have to double dip.
Now, it's time to share information on a certain title. I'll turn it over to someone I think you know.